Make day trading simple again. That's what I want to get across in this video because I see it way too often. People are out there making things very complicated, using all sorts of fancy indicators, and they got all sorts of things going on. It literally looks like you're looking into some sort of like fourth dimension, but I want you to see that it does not need to be that way. Now, I want to also be upfront and say that I'm not implying that any of this is easy. It's simple in the sense of, hey, you just wake up, you say, you know what, I want to be a day trader, and then the next day you're shopping for a Lamborghini. That's not the type of simple I'm trying to imply. What I am trying to imply though is that be very, very careful before thinking you need to go out there and get, purchase indicators and do all sorts of these things where, again, it does make things look very advanced. You can make it seem like you're launching ships into space, but it doesn't need to be that way. And I want to walk you through a couple trades that show you how by taking a single line, again, a single line, one line, I was able to form two trade plans around it and do very, very well. So let's get into it because I want to make sure that you're not one of these people that are getting overwhelmed by a trade plan because you're making it too complicated. So here's my trade screen, and very quickly, I'm trading options. If you're not sure what options are and you want to learn more, just comment below option guide and I will link you to a free class I put together. But that's beside the point because this whole concept applies to options or stocks or crypto or futures or anything else. So just keep that in mind. But yes, I'm doing options here. And I want you to take note of that line right there, which was drawn quite a bit ahead of time, but that is a line, emphasis on a line, one line that stood out to me and made me think, all right, I'm gonna try to build some trade plans around it. And I'll be the first to admit, does what I show you make me look super smart? Does it make it seem like I have some sort of like really complicated and in-depth system going on? No, it doesn't. It makes me look like quite the simpleton, but that's the whole point. But also to reiterate, please don't think that this single line is random and there's nothing else going on. Yeah, there's some other things going on, but the quote unquote other things going on is still nothing vastly complicated. Now that would be outside of the sphere of this video, but I do want to make sure that I'm trying to counterbalance things saying, yeah, you want to keep it simple. You don't need to be rocket science, but it's also not as simple as, hey, you just randomly pick a single line and then you're gonna, have great results. I'm not quite swinging that way either, but let's see how this line played out as I did make two trades revolving around it. Now also, so my screen makes a little bit more sense, that white line right there shows I'm trying to buy at 165, and when that white line turns green, that means I have been able to buy. And then you'll notice another line shows up right here that will be white for a little bit, and that means I'm trying to sell. And up here with the candlesticks, I want to see this thing come down. So I want to see some red candle. Now I'm not going to need a whole bunch of red candle, but I do ultimately want to see it come down. But really what matters most here is, check it out, the price is, there's that line. The price is very, very close to that line. So I am certainly, that line is playing a very important role within my trade plan. But again, a single line. So let's see how this all plays out. So right there I am in. You can see that green there. And then see the white I'm trying to sell. And out. So the trade did not last that long at all. But in fact, the trade lasted right there. You can see the timestamp on it. Lasted a total of 8 seconds. But in 8 seconds, I put $500 into my pocket, again, just by identifying a single line, which is still pretty crazy to me. $500 in 8 seconds, and I didn't use a bunch of fancy indicators. No, I used some basic charting, found a line, built a trade plan around that line, and then you saw the results. But let's see another trade where, again, I use that same line, which again is just a single line. So once again, you see the price is right up at that same exact line. And once again, I want to see, after I buy, I want to see this candle start to go down, start to show me some red. So let's see how this trade plays out. So I am now in, and you can see the numbers fluctuating around there. And now it's just a question of, does this want to come down? Does this want to show me a little bit of red? Don't need a whole lot of red, but that's besides the point, because right now it's all about, the trade plan has been focused right at that green line. So right here you can see the white I'm trying to sell. I cancel it out. You'll see another white line show up there because again, that means I'm trying to sell once again. So this trade taking a little while, relatively speaking. Definitely more than 8 seconds on this one. But still just nothing to panic about. It's still right up around that line. So throughout the order again, you can see the white down there. Still just a bit of a waiting game. And right there, it finally did go from white to green. And that's why this number over here changed to $850 because the first trade was $500 and then that one that you just saw was $350. And that is the ultimate goal. Just keep things simple.
Crispy, simple, juicy.
And that's what it's all about. You want to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself, that you're not in a place where you're just totally confused. And sure, maybe like you have a great setup, you have like 13 monitors and you have all these indicators. I'm not refuting the fact that it may look really, really cool. Your trade desk, your trade plan, all that. But when it comes to the practicality of it, you're gonna find yourself in a whole lot of annoyance and pain because when you just stop and break it down to the core, if you are nervous, well, where is nervousness coming from? It's coming from the fact that you don't have any confidence. Where is the lack of confidence coming from? Well, you don't really understand your trade plan. Where is the lack of understanding your trade plan coming from? The fact that you're making it way, way too complicated. And when that's all the case, you just don't want to be sitting there feeling absolutely,
No food, we got no jobs.
So I hope this helps motivate you to just maybe reconsider. So a couple spots, maybe you've been struggling, maybe you're not necessarily new, but you don't quite have a groove. So reconsider. Are you making things a little bit more complicated than it actually needs to be? Or maybe you're new, just getting started. And I hope for you, you can realize, okay, I've seen some pretty crazy stuff out there, but it's good to know that it doesn't need to reach that level of complicated and, just that level of, I don't even know what the word is, impressiveness in the sense of, wow, look at all this stuff. But is it actually required? Not necessarily. But on the flip side, remember, don't show up thinking that this is super easy and that all you do is, sign up for a brokerage account and you start making money because you put one line on a chart. That's also not what I'm saying. But you don't want to, you got to find that happy medium. But again, I am in the camp of, let's just make day trading simple again. It doesn't need to be complicated. And I hope this helps. If you have any questions or anything like that, as always, leave a comment down below. I do read and reply to all comments. If you don't believe me, hey, put them to the test, leave a comment, and I will reply to it. As always, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you know when new videos are released, and thank you for watching. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.